How's it going, everyone? It's Jeremy J, and I'm coming at you with another video. It appears for the foreseeable future I'm going to be doing videos every day because my mind is just very expansive right now. I am going through multiple major life stresses. It's tough to go through one major life stress at a time, but when you add multiples to that, it's a level of disruption that I haven't had since I really battled Lyme disease in 2018 and early 2019. That's the level I'm feeling right now of disruption in my life. And I know I'll get through it. I have a full faith and trust in myself and my abilities. But it's going to be a process and take time. And as I mentioned yesterday in my video, I'm not going to be the same. I can feel it. I'm morphing into a new man. I'm morphing into a new man. And I will take many of the things that are good about me and carry them forward. Take some of the bad things and remove them. Take some new good things and add them. And on the other side, I hope to emerge in the light as a better and higher version of myself. So that's just a little update on me and how I'm doing. The stress is still there, and I'm continuing to process multiple events, including my very soul gut-wrenching breakup with Chelsea. So my origin, what makes me me, the origin of Jeremy J. So I had lunch with my dad today, and it was good. My dad's a very hardworking man, believes in education, believes in hard work and good principles in life. He had 7 of us kids. I don't know how he did it, but somehow he raised 7 of us kids along with my mother. And it was after having 2 daughters, not even full time, and that's stressful. So I can't imagine how he did it with 7 kids. As I'm doing this shadow work and really trying to get at the root of things about me, traumas and whatnot, and processing multiple very stressful, like what would I call the events going on in like maybe once in a lifetime events, or just significantly impactful and difficult life events. To have more than one of those at the same time it's incredibly disruptive. I am just kind of swirling with disruption and emotion and a feeling of being put through the fire and the refinement process right now. And I'm seeking to understand. That is the first principle. Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the chapters. Seek to understand first before trying to be understood. It is the golden rule, the key in trying to establish any kind of understanding with yourself or with other people. And if you do not approach it that way, you will project yourself onto a situation or onto someone, and that will not bring clarity or the truth. So back to me, my origin. What makes me me? Why am I the way I am? After talking to my dad, I'm going to share something with all of you. And I don't know if I've shared this before, but I was born autistic. And the way my dad described it is at 2 years old, 3 years old, I was a vegetable, not moving, not interacting much with the world, kind of probably just staring, like probably completely overwhelmed with the world, unable to function. So there was a school across from a church that I went to called Croydon back in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And this Croydon school was for people with disabilities, and I had a disability. I was not functioning like the other children, me and my twin brother, Jeff. So this special program I was put in that my dad was telling me about today was part of it was for me to sit there and different music was played, and the goal was to get you to move your body based on different music that was played. And the way I was trained was I would be sitting there and someone would have my arm and make movements with my body for me during different parts of the music. It was kind of like trying to jumpstart my brain in a way to be able to perceive the environment I'm in and respond to it. And after some time, I kind of like almost like some jumper cables jolted me and I came alive. But I have a part of me that I can feel is still autistic or Asperger's syndrome. Uh, I'm on the spectrum of autism. I can feel it because my brain, my brain takes singular concepts and experiences and creates an entire universe around them. You might have something happen, someone gives you a dirty look, or someone says something to you or texts you something, and for you it might be like, well, that bothered me for a day and I forget about it. But my mind crafts an entire universe around it because I have to understand all realities and possibilities around that situation. Almost like I need to understand every parallel universe that could be created from that situation, and then and only then do I find peace because I now have certainty. I know all the outcomes, or at least have a good idea of what all the outcomes are. And so this autism, this being on the autistic spectrum has stayed with me throughout my years. And growing up through elementary, middle school, high school, college, I was super shy. It's incredibly difficult for me to talk to other people, to strike up conversations with strangers. I've had to work incredibly hard at it. I don't know how to act in a group setting where there's multiple people talking. I have no idea when it's my turn to talk. It's not like there's like Lord of the Flies. There's the conch or that shell you pass around, and whoever gets it, it's their turn to talk. It's just kind of very free flowing and chaotic most of the time. So I was telling my dad about that because I've had to cut myself off from family and people while I process multiple gut-wrenching events at the same time, and it's pushing me to my edge. Now, what is the edge? I look at the edge as the breaking point for every human. If we are pushed to our edge or beyond our edge, we can snap. We can snap. We can lose it. And my aim in life has been to be as peaceful and calm as possible because I have seen so much of the bad things that happen when people act from being pushed beyond their edge, from bullies to fights to wars, just pure aggression and pain in this world that has come from people doing that. And that's why I work tirelessly on pushing that edge as far away from me as possible so that I never enter that state, because I am scared of what I would do and who I would become if I got pushed past that edge. It's not something I like to think about because my mind is expansive, it's creative, it's clever, it's intelligent. I did yesterday's video on self-love, and I continue to love myself through this challenge I'm having. Multiple challenges. And it's stressful, it's hard. I can feel myself. I can feel that I've been pushed closer to my edge than I have in a very long time. And what's the right thing to do when that happens? I think it's to push your edge further away, to respond how Christ would, as a figure with love and compassion, to bless those that would persecute you and scorn you or backbite you or gossip about you. I can feel it, like all those things happening toward me. And I think the right answer is to send out love and kindness and compassion to any who would do that. The breakup with Chelsea's been incredibly hard. At least it's hard for me. It may not be hard for her anymore. It's very possible she's moved on completely and I'm but a distant memory, and everything now is just a one-sided thought process. And if that's true, that's okay. There is no condition required for me to hold love toward her in my heart, even if there's a giant shell and I'm totally forgotten and I'm a stranger to her. I still send her love and appreciation and just really concentrated, fervent, good energy and a desire to uplift her and ease her burdens from afar. And as I said in previous videos, I don't know if this is working, but it's the right thing to do. And I send this energy also to all those who are angry at me or threatening me. I send love, compassion, kindness, and shed the ego. Drop the ego, because what happens? What happens when someone gets angry at you? What do people do? They fight and argue. It happens all the time in friendships and relationships. People fight because they have an ego, they have pride. And if you can shed this ego, if you can swallow your pride, you can take a situation that even when someone's threatening to you, and take the natural instinct, which is to retaliate, and instead take it with a sense of calmness, to seek understanding, to seek logic and reasoning above all else, and then to send love, compassion, and kindness to those that would do that. That's what Christ would do. It's exactly what he would do. He would not get angry. He would not try to start a fight. He would not say bad things behind people's back and all these things that people tend to do when emotions are high. And that's the right answer. To drop the ego. It's powerful to shed the ego. It's hard. I think it's something that most people don't do in this world because it means sometimes you're going to feel like you were taken advantage of. And it makes you feel like less of a man at times. But the more I think about it is, if you have a choice between retaliation or just breathing and thinking and understanding and not reacting, the far more powerful and disciplined approach is not to react. Now, it doesn't mean don't do anything. Of course not. It's very important to take any necessary measures there are if there's danger. I absolutely believe in that. So it doesn't mean just let people attack you and strike you down and die like Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars Episode 4 versus Darth Vader. It doesn't mean let yourself just be struck down. But I think it means in most cases you can avoid unnecessary conflict by showing some kindness, love, and compassion and using logic and reasoning to navigate a situation. So these are some things I'm learning. And my autistic mind, my Asperger's mind, my autistic mind allows me to do this. It is the gift. It's a gift. I am able to be this way because my mind is expansive and able to think of this and to research and discover all the practices that keep me in a calm and centered state. And when I need to cry like yesterday, I'll bawl my eyes out. Just let it flow, let it out. And I went dancing last night. I danced with probably 15 people and just let myself boogie, release trauma through dancing. I was telling my dad that I went dancing because I was terrified of it. And after having Lyme disease, I realized I'm mortal and I could die. And that if I face this fear of dancing, I will remove some trauma from my body. And that happened. trauma left my body permanently. And here now I sit, having a new life-altering experiences, multiple experiences, and I know these experiences are for my own good, and that on the other side of this will be more permanent trauma release. And I will come out on the other side strong, firm, confident, certain that that's the man I will become. I am presently not that man, but I know that this deep inner work and reflection will take me there, and I will be a higher version of myself. And moving to my higher self, we all have a higher self version of us. And my higher self is a very strong, confident, peaceful, certain, loving, kind, and dangerous man, all rolled into one. With a high level of intellect, empathy, understanding of this world, people in it, reality, and very brief times that man has come out. I have experienced being that man before, and it's incredible. I feel like a wizard. I feel like I have magic at my fingertips, like I have a magic wand, and things are as I decide. And to be that way most of the time would incur a great responsibility, extremely great responsibility. Because it would be easy to be falsely charismatic, falsely misleading, and to create influence with people under a false guise for the purpose of validation and control instead of uplifting and inspiring. So I'm grateful for the autism I had as a young child. I'm grateful that I have Asperger's and I'm on the spectrum. I'm grateful for my overthinking mind. I love my overthinking mind. I love that I can write and expansively understand situations in this world, even when I have a situation happen that I don't understand. I can research it and I can come to clarity. It's so powerful. I'm so grateful for this gift. I will cultivate it, and I will never put myself down again for being this way. It's a beautiful gift. It's a precious gift. So I'm doing deep inner work alone. And it's hard because I want to just unload all these things on someone else to have them help me and comfort me. And I cannot. I can't do it. This life is a beautiful experience. There is beauty and good in this life. There's a lot of evil and darkness as well. You have both. Opportunity mixed with difficulty. That is the name of the game of life. Opportunity mixed with difficulty. And I'm experiencing that now, on par with the most challenging times I've ever had in my life. I'm going through it right now, right before your very eyes. It's the cocoon moment, the birth of the butterfly. And it will take as long as it takes. It will take as many tears as need to flow as it takes. And I'm just sharing my video logs with all of you, like I'm on some starship doing video logs about my journey. You all watching probably have your own life impactful moments. Those times in your life where you knew something majorly impactful was going on, and you're like, yep, this is going to be life-changing, I can tell. And the universe or God, the great orchestrator of things, sends us these things, I believe, for our own good and growth. So I appreciate so many of your comments. So many people have commented. New people are commenting, sharing support and love. You are deeply appreciated. And I want to do what I've done in past videos and go through some of you that have shared your love and kindness and comments. So I'm going to do that now. All right, in order to do this, I'm at a different angle so I can use my computer. My last video is I love you, Jeremy, even when you are broken. And what will today's video be? I love you, Jeremy, even though you are autistic, or something like that. So people I want to thank. Andrea Antel, thank you. You said you're going to send yourself self-love. That's awesome. Yes, this world can be cruel. I appreciate you taking time. To take time means something. To respond. Mrs. Armed Legally. I know you from my teenage years, and I have memories of time spent with you, mostly before I went on an LDS mission. And I want you to know your messages are appreciated, and it's okay to have regrets in life. I have regrets, but I want you to know I appreciate those moments I shared with you. And I miss my sister Davina. She's a good soul. But don't feel despair or regret if that's in your practice to cultivate, because all good experiences are treasures that we keep with us. All good people stay with us in some small way and affect us for the better of our lives. Next is TK, and you said you're not alone, and that we're going on a journey together, and to want nothing and keep working and it will get better. And I agree. The Buddhist philosophy of detachment is powerful. To combine the Buddhist philosophy of detachment with a strong desire to love and serve is the ultimate pinnacle, I believe. And I'm trying to get there. I thank you for your comment. Kristen Sanders, you said you are worthy of a beautiful woman who desires to submit to you. I think any man would love to have that happen. But to be the kind of man that deserves that takes a lot of hard work. And you must get to a point where you have great power, but you uphold it with great responsibility and care and discipline. But thank you for commenting. Deborah Lord, admiring the strength to give self-love and to take care during this time. And you're going through something similar. Yes, this is a time to journal, to do videos, to do yoga regularly, to do weightlifting, basketball, martial arts, and to really spend this time, because I know this time is finite. This massive growth period will end, and the divine rocket fuel that I have right now will one day run out, and this period will end. So I'm going to cultivate it, and I appreciate you and everyone else here. We have a little community here of people, of like-minded people, and it's awesome. That's really great. So thank you, Deborah Lord. You're appreciated. Mary Mills, you said that you want to write your own grateful list, and it is much more powerful than I am affirmations, and because you personalize it to yourself. It's almost like you are a separate being with yourself as a protector and guardian for yourself. And I truly believe that. And yeah, the older you get, the more self-esteem you acquire is true, because I think it's because the ego, hopefully as you get older, the ego becomes smaller and smaller. And I think that's important. I hope you are feeling at peace and calm and not having any panic attacks, and hope you're doing well, Mary Mills. Michael Nelson, you are kind of like the one of the masculine energies on my channel, sharing with me things about God of War and different music and archetypes related to fantasy role-playing games, which I highly resonate with. I've liked fantasy role-playing games since I was a child. I deeply resonate with them, and I appreciate your comments and your advice. You write extremely well. I believe you're pretty young, in your early 20s, but you have a lot of good thoughts, and the ability to articulate yourself at a young age. It's very powerful. And I believe you're going to go on to do excellent and amazing things in your life as well. I want you to know that last night I boogied till midnight, from about 9:30 to midnight. I danced with maybe 15 people and just let myself flow. And it was awesome. And the times where I needed to just sit by myself, I did that too. So thank you, brother. You're appreciated. Deborah Dingomouse, one of the OGs. You're appreciated. I think it's cute how you spell Dido, D-I-E-D-O-E. Dido meows back. I actually spelled Dido, D-I-D-O, but I want you to know that you can spell Dido, D-I-E-D-O-E still, and that's okay. But it's just something I noticed, and the fact that you would call me an authentic being is very appreciated, because I know you are the same thing. You are an authentic being as well, and you've been here on my channel for like 6 years, so thank you. Next up, we have the Van of Possibility, Van Vibes USA. You are one of my dear friends in my life. In fact, you are the person that helped me on my first day going to face my fear of dancing. And I was telling my dad about this today. I was so overwhelmed that first day that I went to go dancing. I thought I was going to be judged and made fun of, and all these things I create in my head, because the mind I have creates all sorts of things. And I talked to you, and you did the dance lesson with me, and you were patient and understanding with someone. You served me, basically, with someone who had no idea what they were doing. And that's incredibly meaningful to have someone do that. I'll never forget that experience, and I consider you a dear friend, and I appreciate you. And I send light and love to you. Thank you for being you. Let's keep going down to others. Vanita Jones, thank you for coming back and commenting and sharing your words of encouragement, and that we don't have to be perfect. And the hard work does start in relationships. I totally agree. Clearly, I have a lot of work to do to be able to have a good relationship, but I'm on the path there because I had a really good one, the best I've ever had in my entire life. This last relationship, it exceeded all my expectations of what real and true love should be like. It's everything I could have wanted in that area, and so I know I'm on the right path to being able to cultivate that, but I have work to do still. But thank you, Vanita Jones, for coming back and sharing a comment. Nick Angel 88 Margot, thanks for your comments and for sharing your love and kindness. I appreciate you. You're always so kind and encouraging in your comments. It's really appreciated. I'm going to see if there's any more. Richard Hunt, thank you there. I'm honored that you think I have a lot to offer. Thank you. I appreciate that. I agree with you. I do have a lot to offer, and I will continue to do that with as much humility and empathy and kindness as I can. Swag to be. You said, keep holding love for your twin flame inside your heart, and that no matter what the separation phase you go through, they'll always be inside your heart and a part of you. I agree. I agree. I have tried all sorts of logic and reasoning to try to talk myself out of why I shouldn't be thinking about Chelsea anymore, and I've been unable to do it. So I surrender and accept and keep her in my heart and love for her always, no matter what. Even if she has a turtle shell up and completely hates me, this does not change I will still send out love. And if it bounces off a shell, okay. It will not stop me from doing that. Colm Cronin, thanks for the encouragement to stay strong. And I'm glad I was able to help you. Mel ZK83, you said bless you. Thank you for that comment. You're appreciated. All right, I'm going to go back into the light. All right, I'm back in the light. So I am understanding my origin story, that I was born autistic and that I carry some of that with me still. It allows me to have an incredibly expansive mind and to have a high level of emotional understanding and self-control. I'm so grateful for that. If it means I'm a little awkward, if it means I don't know how to act in groups, if it means there's some flaws with me because of it, I accept all those flaws, and there's pure love for it all. I'm so grateful I got to meet with my dad today. He's in his early 80s now. He's getting up there in age. And we talked about a lot of things. My mom, my sister Davina, who passed away, and my mom passed away. Like, they're both gone. And we both agreed that nothing good comes in life when you let yourself go over your edge and unleash into your anger and rage and lose control. Nothing good comes of it. It's almost like this is a barometer and benchmark for us as humans. If we can further push that edge away and avoid going to that place, that's a measure. That's the measure of a man. The measure of a man is not how much weight you can lift. It's not how intimidating you can try and be. That's all bullshit. The measure of a man is how much self-control can you exercise? How kind and compassionate and empathetic can you be under great duress and stress? How loving and kind can you be to someone else that can do nothing for you? These are the measures of a man. This is what makes a man. It's like having the Excalibur sword, but you choose to keep it sheathed and not use it. That's power. That's greatness. I want you to know y'all are appreciated. And I feel tremendous growth happening right now through this process I'm going through, this dark night of the soul, this transition to a new me. And I know I'm going to be a better version of myself, a stronger and better version physically, mentally, intellectually, spiritually. And I strongly desire to serve this world, to dedicate my life to serving this world that so desperately needs love, empathy, and kindness, and acts of service and goodness, and seeking understanding and having good communication and dialogue with people. That's one thing I've been thinking of. I would love to see the world enter a state of, it's almost like a deep consciousness shift is needed for the world to enter a strong state of dialogue, because for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction in physics and in man and woman. We want to retaliate when we feel we've done wrong. But turn your sword into a plowshare, drop your weapons, and open up your arms for dialogue and discussion, and seek to understand. I know if everyone in the world moved toward this, that so many problems would go away, so much greater understanding of people and their situations would occur. But it's hard, so I get why it's not happening. It's a sacrifice. You have to shed your ego. You have to let yourself be vilified, and you have to feel like a wuss sometimes. That's the requirement. You have to give up power. There's a video I did for my daughters. Why was the One Ring of Power in the Lord of the Rings so hard to give up? It's because no one wants to give up their power. But it is the most noble and great thing you can do. is to take your power, that Excalibur sword, and to sheathe it. Anyone who's listened to this point, 35 minutes into this video, I want you to know you're special and appreciated. You're watching the unfolding of my life in a very tumultuous time. One of, if not the most tumultuous time I've ever experienced. And to go through such a time is to be refined if you will alchemize the situation to be so. So I take this situation and I seek to turn it into gold, to take everything that is hard and to transmute it. There's a book called Think and Grow Rich. It talks about transmutation of things, or read the book The Alchemist. You can transmute any experience into gold if you will think of it that way. And I believe that's what will happen with what I'm going through. Here I am, 36 minutes in. This is not a YouTube short or some quick video. These videos are in depth. And I want to thank you for listening, whoever you are, wherever you are. Much love is sent to you. Much love is sent outwardly to all of you who are commenting and watching these videos and going through hard times. You're not alone. You're not alone. I send out rays of light and love and sunshine and goodness and empathy and kindness to all who would be angry at me and seek to do me harm. I send you light and compassion and empathy and understanding. And I send the same love and light to Chelsea, regardless of anything else and where you are and what you're doing. I send it to you with no conditions. There's no requirement. Namaste to all you beautiful souls for watching. I'll see you in the next video.